you have access to all these scripts. What was it about this one that was really kind of like just kind of made you guys go, okay, we want to lean in a little bit to kind of make this film?
Definitely the tone and the characters, and so it was a perfect blend of like both really intense horror and the comedy that went with it. And besides that, the characters were also well developed,
well drawn.
Yeah. I also don't. It's rare that you pick up a script and you start reading it, and before you know you're done. You've read the whole thing.
Right.
And that was, I mean, literally through all of the rewrites, all the work that we did on it, up until the day of shooting, you couldn't open it and not finish it. It was just one of those that was like, oh shit, there's so many great moments, and they're working so well together. The mechanics of how this scene feeds this scene, and this character feeds this character. You just couldn't stop reading it.
I have to ask, like, because when I heard that there were 3 people involved in making this, like, how do you guys break down? I know you if you can explain to me again, how do you guys work with each other and make films together as a twosome? Like, how does that work?
I mean, we've been doing this for 10 years together, so it's what feels like shorthand to us now. I mean, obviously it's a little bit unconventional when other people are sort of invited into the process with us, but we work together from the earliest stages of talking about the script and character and developing it with the producers to the day that we're on set talking about scenes. And for us, it's all about getting on the same page and challenging each other's ideas early on to make sure that when we are finally making the thing, when the rubber meets the road, that we've landed on the best version of a scene or the best line of dialogue. And then, in terms of how we work on set, it's very organized. It's never, it's just absolutely, lots of fighting, lots of just aggressive physical contact. No, it's always incredibly smooth. We have our strengths within the group, and we sort of siphon those things off onto into the various departments, and somehow a movie ends up getting made.
I think for fans of the genre, the term final girl is not new to a bunch of us, but for those who don't know what this is, what is the final girl, and how did you choose your final girl? Actually, she's the only girl, sorry.
Yeah. True, she's both. But she, Searchlight had worked with her before on 3 Billboards, and they suggested us to her. And we had a very awkward Skype call with her that basically was not connected 95% of the time, but then we met her, and she just had the kind of badassness that we wanted, and she's vulnerable, and she's very honest. Like, there's an honesty to her in every single thing that she does, that the minute we met her, we were like, oh my God, please let her want to do this movie. And she did, so.
She also has a really natural sense of humor. She's not always like joking around. She's just sort of naturally a funny, charismatic person to be around. And obviously the mix of tones in this movie they're so specific. And if you go too far to either side, then you've kind of lost it. And she's just fun to watch. She's so good at what she does.
As fans of the genre, what do you consider, what makes a good horror movie? Like, what do you need out of a film that you've accomplished in this film, but also like in general when you watch horror films?
I definitely think a little bit of fun. Like, we want, there are a lot of horror movies out there that are a little bit more dour and just like depressing. And I think the world's kind of rough enough right now. Like, you want to go to a movie and have a great time, and be surprised a little bit by what you're watching.
And character, like a good character. It's amazing what you can do with a great concept. And if there's like a non-entity character in it, you just forget the movie. But if there's a good character going through that story and getting through those obstacles, it just gives you something to latch on to.
Yeah, our kind of litmus test has always been, if you remove the genre element from the movie, is it something you still want to watch? And that's like key for us.
Who are the masters of this? Like, growing up, who are the people that like really inspired you to kind of give you, and maybe kind of planted the seeds of like who you guys are now? Like, who are the people that you kind of...
Wes Craven,
George Romero,
John Carpenter,
Spielberg, the Coen brothers. There are a lot of we have a lot of influences, and I think they're all present in different ways in this movie. And I think we also love a variety of genres, which is why this project for us was like the bullseye. It was the sort of culmination of all of the things that we love about movies wrapped into one.
Right. If we're all watching a movie any given night, it's probably a different movie. Like, we're all watching different things. So it's fun that way.